What's going on, people of YouTube? My name happens to be Kurtyoy, and yes, didn't end so well for the miracle season that every Sheffield Wednesday fan can agree has been a miracle season. We lost 1-0 in the final, and as much as I've got a vlog coming up in the next couple of days about it, I am not good at editing, nor good at time management, so, you know, getting that out will take a couple of days for me. But I'm going to sit here and review the playoff final. And first of all, I can't really go out and give any discredit to Hull. I can say the fact that their fans, half of them didn't turn up was shocking. I didn't expect. I knew the numbers were going to be low for Hull, but not that low. But credit goes to the Hull players. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, on performance in that 90 minutes played at Wembley, Hull were the better side. We had a good spell in the last 5 minutes, as you do when you're about to lose a cup final, which it was. And first 15-20 minutes in the second half, we came out fighting. But I suppose the first 10 in the first half, the Kurtyoy chance, the Wallace free kick. At the end of the day, Hull were better. Hull were better every stage of the park. And I have to admit, I do give Steve Bruce a lot of stick from time to time. I liked what he did because, correct me if I'm wrong, Hull fans, but I'm pretty sure he goes out normally with a 4-4-1-1 formation. Abel Hernandez, lone striker, Mo Diame, who was unplayable, Mayu said in the final. Just behind him, and you've got two wingers of Alamadi one side and Snodgrass the other, and you've got Huddleston and Livermore sort of in a sitting role or central midfield role. It looked as if in this game it was slightly more cup final orientated. So Huddleston dropped down into a very deep role, as much you could say like a defensive midfield role, and Diame slotted back to make a 3 in the midfield rather than a attacking midfielder sort of role, which was very, very smart, and that's what dominated us in the end. But kicks off, and I think credit has to go also to Wednesday fans. We were phenomenal throughout. You'll see some of the pictures probably on the screen in my vlog. Not very good at it. I do talk with my face right up to the camera, a lot of it, because it's nervous. It's the first video I've done, out in public holding a phone. It's quite scary, but it's a great day out. I think for me, I'm in Essex, as I say, and to go to Wembley to see Sheffield Wednesday, almost get there. I just think a little bit too nervous on the day, but credit to Hull. They outplayed us. They were certainly the better team. And I do wish them all the best for the next Premier League season. I think it'll be tough because they're going up with the same team they came down with. I do think they need to buy because the Premier League, the demands, I think have been up to level or two since Hull were last there a few seasons back. So I think, when you look at it, I think Hull need to buy. But I'll maybe get onto that in another video. That might feature in my Premier League transfer targets. But how did the game go in general? Well, it started off, it was very nervy first 20-25 minutes. Nothing really happened. I can't remember when things happened for Hull because we didn't have any chance in that first half. I say inside the first 10 minutes, Kurtyoy was about to run into the area. Dawson, a very good tactical foul. Very good foul. It's very rarely hear me say that, but Kurtyoy is about to run in pretty much on the if this is the line, if the goal's here, the goal's on this line, and then this is the I'm not really describing this very well. Basically, he was about to run into the area. Dawson fouled him outside. We had a free kick. I think, personally, we should have just fizzed it across the area, but we decided to go for a shot, Kurtyoy shot. Jakupovic, who I really think we should have just fired shots at him because I don't think he's a very sturdy keeper compared to McGregor. Punched out the bar quite easily. But the first half was 50-50 in possession, and I think I mentioned it in my vlog. The possession was 50-50, but we were having it deep in our own half and maybe on the halfway line every now and again. They were having it, on the halfway line and deep in our own half, and Sheffield Wednesday's half, and that's the difference. It was sort of played all in our area, and that's what really made it worse. And chances came. You had the corner whipped in by I can't remember who. And the header, I believe it was Curtis Davis, cleared off the line by, I believe it was maybe Kieran Lee, I'm not too sure. And that happened. We got away with that. A few fantastic saves from Westwood. I mean, I forget, because it's been the last live game I was at was Ipswich. You forget about the trajectory of the ball. So Kieran Westwood's save, I think it was in the first half, saved it, and you didn't know where it was going to go. you sort of just waiting, and you thought, you don't know if it was going to drop. It wasn't dropping, it was going up. I thought it was going to drop into the net. And he kept on going until it went over by quite a bit of the save. I thought, well, flipping heck. He sort of catches you off guard. And there was a few chances when the ball was headed out. In the first half when the Hull were defending that side, and the second half when we were defending that side, you don't know whether the ball's gone, nowhere or really far. It's really, really weird. But there was a better heart team in the first half. We didn't fire many shots in, and that's what cost us in the end. Hull had more chances after that. A few good saves from Westwood, and I think Diame ran through. Like I said, he was unplayable. He's a quality footballer, and he had definitely a worthy man of the match performance in that game. Ran through, smacked the post, but we didn't learn our lessons in the second half. We came out fighting, but we did the same things we were doing wrong in the first half. And I feel like where the game was won, for me, was the fact that Hull were a bit more direct than us. Hull, when they got forward, they got into shooting positions and shot, whether they were outside the area. Because I think the first minute or so, ball drops Huddleston, and I'm a big fan of Huddleston. I like big hitters of the ball. And the minute it fell to him, I thought 1-0. Luckily, it went straight at Westwood. Fumbled it a bit, but straight at Westwood. Excuse me. But we didn't learn a lesson. Hull were getting into positions, outside the area or inside, and shooting. They were putting shots away. We were getting in the way of them. Westwood was making saves. They were going wide. They were going over. But they were getting shots in. When we got in that position, the few times we did in the first half, there was too many fancy flicks. They were always looking for passes. We were always looking for flicks. I feel like a little bit more of a direct approach would have suited this sort of game. Because we started very tentatively. You can't play tentatively and do fancy flicks on the area, because it was getting slightly to the point where the fans were getting frustrated, and there was a flick here, Hooper would get a flick, Forestieri would get a flick, and overall I'm not going to slam certain players. I feel like the whole team in itself, apart from Westwood, was pretty poor. There were certain players that were poorer than others. I think certain players that really, when they came off the bench, really weren't done much justice. But the second half we started off really well. We had a lot of the ball, we were pressing on, trying to get a goal. They were attacking down our end. It switched, so Hull City scored at their end. In the second half we were attacking down our end. And it almost got to that stage where you thought maybe we could just grab a goal. We haven't deserved it. It was like the Brighton game. We needed to start getting shots away. Because Brighton, we had something to defend. If Brighton scored again, we could still defend and know we were going to go through to the final. If Hull scored, we could not defend and know we were going to win, because we weren't. We had to score. And it faded away about 65th minute. We make our first change in that thing. I think Wallace comes off and Elan comes on, who I don't think has much of a future, unfortunately. I'm a big fan of Elan. He's been with us since League One days when he joined on loan from City, but I think his time could be up. Unfortunately, his race has been run. And of course, when I was there, you couldn't see it properly, but it looked like an absolute banger. Mo Diame, about 72nd minute, picks up the ball, smashes it into the top corner. I haven't seen a Wednesday fan complain about that goal. When you see a good goal, you've got to clap and say, well done, that's fantastic. And that was a fantastic strike. And then finally, 76th minute, we decide to actually bring on the whole game. We've been passing intensively, haven't been working. It's back to Westwood or back to a defender hoofed up there. We did that quite a lot, I think. So we bring on Nuhiu, 76th minute. At that point, we never, we kick it up there about 2 or 3 times for the rest of that game. We bring on Nuhiu to sort of lay the balls down. We don't kick it up there. That's the whole point of bringing on. Zhao comes on for, Nuhiu came on for Hutchinson, sorry. So I think we sort of pushed Bannon into the centre with Lee, had Forestieri sort of playing out wide, but as a front three. And then, of course, Poodle, I think, went down injured, so we brought him off. And Zhao came on. At the end of the day, it just wasn't meant to be. We had chances towards the end, but I think that was too late. Hull had their, defences geared up. I think when it comes down to it, when you look at the fact we're playing tentatively, we could have still played a passing game. We shouldn't have really given up and launched the ball long unless we had a striker up there to aim for. I don't know if I mentioned in the video, but I said, I mentioned at half-time we need someone like Zhao on or Nuhiu on, because we're going to keep on launching the ball forwards. If our passing play isn't working, if we're launching the ball forward, we need to have that big target man. Dawson and Davis are good centre-backs. I think they're Premier League centre-backs. If Hull wouldn't have got promoted, I would have liked us both. I'd like us to snap up both of them. I think they're quality. And when it came down to it, we didn't have the target man. Forestieri and Hooper against them two are not going to stand a hope in hell. They've got no hope. And that's fact. At the end of the day, it wasn't meant to be. Carlos was set a 2-year plan when Defan Shanshiri came in. We almost did it in a 1 year. So that was obviously good. But we can do it again next year. I think the difference between the teams, Hull were a complete team. They're a team that could play together, have had time to play together. Like I say, they came down from the Premier League together. Very little has changed. They've played this season in the Championship together. They're already, they've got know-how. They are a team. I think we still are, a group of players moulding into a team. Next season will be like Hull. We'll have a team. They'll have played the whole season together. I don't think there's much buying needed. Certain players we need to maybe refill, restock, get new stock in, get rid of some of the dead weight. At the end of the day, it was a good day out, and we were still in fine voice throughout, and we outsung the Hull fans after the final whistle. I think that's what football's about. As much as you can, be sad about it, and it was a sad moment. You don't like to see a team go so close to being back in the Premier League for the first time since you can recall and miss out. But it's good fun. And I think, can we do it next year? I'd put us as one of the favourites to get game promotion. Whether it's winning the league, second or third to sixth through playoffs, I think we can do it. Because we need to improve on little areas. But once we improve on those little areas, we've got it. Because a lot of time you can see teams going down. Teams go down from the Premier League, you think they're complete teams. The only one I can think that's near completion for a Championship side to go back up is Norwich. Newcastle, a lot of their players are going to be leaving, so I feel like, and Rafa Benitez is not a Championship manager, so I feel like that could be tough for them. And Aston Villa, I think a League One team could have done better in the Premier League than they did. But thank you guys for watching nonetheless. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Again, congratulations to Hull. Hopefully, although I think whoever won out of this, us or you, I think we're destined to go down. I really do hope everything goes well for you, and hopefully next season or season after this coming season, we'll see you in the Premier League. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck, Hull, and peace.